Greetings, YouTube. Although greetings, YouTube usually implies optimism, cheerfulness, friendliness, all the things I try to be on this channel, except when I have to be critical. I know there are people out there, long out there since I started my YouTube channel now, over 5 years ago, or I should say rebranded it. It's been around since 2011, but mostly just reviewed pizza and Oreos. There are people out there who think I get excited to be negative. That's why I'm called Mr. Negative. But I sort of feel like when it comes to Kabam, I have to be like a parental figure, like a dad. And I have to scold my wild, lying, gives me a lifetime of no sleep and trust issues, teenage rebellious son when he screws up. When he wanders away from the path and into the path of the dark side. I'm watching Obi-Wan Kenobi now for the first time, as it premiered today on Disney Plus, so my mind is got a little Star Wars in it. I trust my sources. I trust the people that this community depends on, because time and time again they've come through, and I still trust them. I trust MCOC Trucos. I trust when leaks happen with new champions. And I definitely trust Rich the Man, who's one of the best people I have ever met in this community, and I am honored to have spoken to him before. A couple weeks ago, if you missed it, he put out a video assuring the community, and I believe he had every intention of this being true, that the big compensation was coming. We know that the big compensation should be here because Kabam told us months and months and months ago, going all the way back to October of 2011, that when, or I should say October of 2021, 2011 is the year that this game didn't exist, I think. Maybe in the Kabam sphere they were testing it, but we didn't have access to it. Anyhow, we know that we deserve compensation because according to their statement, the compensation would only appear when the game was fixed. Now, don't hear that and think Prof. Hoff is saying that the game is fixed. I believe for so many summoners, the game is more broken than it has ever been before. No, but they waved the mission accomplished flag so they could do one really important thing. And it's really two important things. The one important thing is to take away the Wednesday compensation of the Alliance War and Alliance Quest potions and revives. And some of you have told me, Prof, as much as I complained about those items always going into my overflow and wondering if I was ever even going to be able to use them, it sure was nice to have them if I made a mistake, or more importantly, if the game was broken and lag or frame rate or that dreaded bug where you start a fight and it doesn't even allow you to continue, the server times you out and then you start with half your health and the opponent's got 100% health, or the worst version of that, which is that you defeat, say, the Alliance Quest mini boss and then it refuses to load the screen after, and so even though you've beaten them, they come back with full health and you come back with at best half of what you started with. No, we've had for 3 weeks now, going on a month next week, 4 weeks, no Wednesday compensation. And the second part of why that is important is because Kabam thinks every summer for the last 2 summers, from the Summer of Pain to the Eternity of Pain, that they're going to make a lot of money off of this event. Certainly when it's the Gauntlet path that you can go and have to use Lord knows how many revives and units and maybe cash to get through Unit Man, as we like to say in the community. They don't want us to get revives and potions because that, of course, costs them money. And the revives and potions are a standard expectation at least once a month for compensation, usually when you have downloaded the new patch, and then the next day when it arrives on noon Central Standard Time. But they know that if they give that compensation when the Eternity of Pain starts, that they're going to cost themselves money. So I believe no matter what condition the game was in, Kabam's plan was always to declare mission accomplished before the Eternity of Pain started. It's just good business, to be honest. If I ran them, I'd want to do the same thing. The problem is, of course, that now when you comment on threads that your game is broken and you don't cuss, you don't yell, you're very respectful, you ask honest questions like, Is it no longer okay to give you the feedback that you were asking for about a year when it comes to bugs? Not only do they delete the thread, but sometimes if you're lucky, they warn you, but otherwise they shadow ban you and you don't even know that you've been silenced from the forums until you have a buddy check and they don't see your comments anywhere because you can see them, but no one else can. All of this means we are high time for the compensation that was promised. The compensation that Rich the Man reiterated, and the compensation that the forums did over the past several months as well. There are two different kinds of people that I hear from on a daily basis right now. The people who ask me, who, by the way, spoiler alert, does not work for Kabam. I don't know if you know that, but I've cost Kabam apparently so much money worth of sales by grading their trash offers as trash offers and not just rubber stamping them like they want me to, that they would never, ever... I bet I'd be escorted off the premises of Kabam if I ever visited. I'd have to go undercover, be like an undercover boss type of situation. But there's the other part, which is just giving up. They think that the big compensation is like this myth that we've made up as a community, that somehow we're saying it to get views or to get people's hopes up. I'm not that desperate for views, and if I want to get somebody's hopes up, I guess I'd be getting my own hope up because I'm as hopeful of this as anything. And I'm hopeful of it because it's what we deserve, it's what we were promised, and it's what Kabam should want to give us before July 4th sales. Because the worst thing you can do when you're trying to make your millions of dollars in your quarter is to tick the community off by not giving them something you've promised. And especially considering several of you have told me that you've had the bugs cost you more lives in Alliance Quest and Alliance War than ever before, but of course without the insurance of the compensation that we used to get Wednesdays. And don't even get me started on how confusing it is that we have stopped the Wednesday Nexus crystals, although I will say, for those of you, I'm guessing Cavalier and above, it didn't actually say, the Multi-Madness Piggy Bank has been pretty cool. I think this is a cool upgrade from putting the 4,000, or I guess technically it was 6,000, so you trade off 2,000 crystal shards for Thronebreaker in what used to be in the Cavalier Daily Special the last week. Although, who knows, since Kabam likes to try different things, and we technically have more than 7 days left in the event quest. We have 12 days. Maybe they'll still do that. Maybe they'll do the piggy bank this week and the daily special next week. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody can really predict the Kabam/Kaskam strategy. But all I know is that this is starting to get pathetic. This is starting to get aggravating. I'm tired of being asked, Prof, when's the compensation coming? I don't know. I don't know how else I can say that. I don't work for Kabam. I don't know. I will never know. This is something that we will have to just wait and see. But I do know this. If they don't give us the big compensation, if they go back on their word because of not wanting to give people revives for the Attorney of Pain or whatever, they will lose a lot of goodwill, and that will translate into worse sales on July 4th weekend. And there are so many people who want to become Wallet Breaker that weekend from Thronebreaker or Thronebreaker from Cavalier that they shouldn't take a step back at a time that the community needs it the most. That's my rant for today. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.